All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has come to this. It is Aaron here, founder and CEO of 28 Games, Crazy Ambitious Cleverly Historic, and it is 12:05 on the second day of June 2025. And yes, as I said, it has come to this. There's a consultation that's scheduled by my mother with an attorney, Ambrose, on Wednesday to take on the second mortgage, the debt crisis with real-time resolutions that I've been talking about for a while. So she's obviously very, very eager to do that. I think what is going to happen is either one of two things. It's going to be taken to court, and they're going to try to argue, contest the foreclosure, and see if there's enough evidence to overturn it, to say that it's unjust because of the statute of limitations. Because in my state, the state can collect, debt collectors can collect on mortgage debt for up to 20 years. But even if it's called time barred. Basically, it's where after a certain point, debt collectors. It's the Fair Debt Act. They can't collect after a certain amount of time. But even if the statute has expired, they can still try to collect. So that's Plan A. If that doesn't work, Plan B would be Chapter 13 bankruptcy. What that would mean is that my mother, it would stop the public auction, which we have scheduled for June 30th at 12:30. And would give my mother anywhere between 3 to 5 more years to get current on that loan, pay back the debt, and bring it current. Obviously, you'd want it to be so she can wipe it clean. Put it in bankruptcy court, wipe it clean, owe nothing. That's what my parents did back in 2015, 2016, when they went to our actually the capital of our state and went to bankruptcy court. They were going back and forth, and then they wound up being able to dissolve $66,000 in debt, which is why back in 2019, as you know, the year my father died, he was going to go and refinance everything because the bankruptcy fell off because it stays on there for 7 years, and it's a really, really sad thing. But it's really, really relieving to me. And I give all the credit in the world to Lindy. She's a securities lawyer that my mother knew through her church. She got wind of the situation, put two and two together, met with her. I told you this in, I think, with the last one or two vlogs that I did. But she made it happen. She faxed all the facts, all the information to the law firm, where my mother's going to be going Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Making something work, and I kind of educated my mother a little bit based on the research that I know about a lawyer, and it's kind of good news for you to know too. If you're, a lawyer's like a contractor. You hire them to do a job for you. If they have to go into court, they roll up their sleeves. They try to get the best possible outcome for you. It doesn't happen all the time, but that's the expectation. They'll come in there. Because when they go into court, you're going to expect that the opposing counsel is going to put up a fight too. They're going to defend their client. Just like mom's going to be defended by her lawyer because she's the client of, yeah. And so, in my mind, this debt is 19 years old. My father took out the second mortgage in 2006, when his father died because he got in a bad way. He got behind the mortgage. That's why he opened up the second one to kind of leverage the first one. But you sign a contract, and it says if you don't make good on this loan, we can foreclose on you. So, they did sign a documentation. I remember being 15 years old, 15 years of age, watched my parents sign these documents at the dinner table in our kitchen, in a different spot that it was in before. It's kind of our dining area. But I'm hoping for the best possible outcome, and I think this is just numero uno on the list of things that have happened these past few years. And I give my mother all the credit in the world. I know she's can be very, very a very bad psychosis, can get very emotional, very aggressive. When she's in her right mind, she can focus and she can get the job done for sure. Because she's got my father in her, so she's like the female version of my dad, no doubt. So I will be letting you guys know what happens after the consultation on Wednesday. If it's what Attorney Ambrose is going to do, she's obviously going to walk through. And this is also for you too. If you have a consultation with the lawyer, they'll go in, ask you what take the time to know you, figure out what your case is, start building on that case. If you agree to a contract, you sign a contract and you pay a retainer fee. Retainer fee is a down payment for their services. After they do their work is rendered, whatever they do, they're supposed to pay you that back. Doesn't always happen, but it's supposed to. In my mother's case, Lindy, the lawyer, the securities lawyer she knows through her church, is going to pay up to $5,000 to make this possible. So, and, you know, because whenever you communicate with the lawyer, be it email, phone, or in person, they will charge you billable hours. So $5,000, it's probably going to be pretty much like that. You know, it ain't, you know, you ain't going to have legal services for a pretty penny. It's going to be pretty expensive, especially depending on where you are, you know. And also it depends on the severity or the how complex the case is. In this case, it's a foreclosure. So it's a family law issue. So it would be if don't have to do Chapter 13, it'll be a probate issue, and it'll actually be the courthouse happens to be right down the street from the law firm. So which is really, really convenient. If it goes to Chapter 13, then she's got to go to our city's capital, to bankruptcy court. Unless it's a different bankruptcy court. I think the only bankruptcy court's in our state's capital, which is Manchester. Yeah, Manchester. Not to be confused with Manchester, UK, and another Manchester. So yeah, that's where we are right now with that. I'm going to get back to work. I'm going to do what I usually do. I got journals. I got stuff to do. Concepts. You know, we're at 358 days until this thing releases. I haven't forgotten about my own little contract thing and, you know, my money deal. Plus, I'm trying to win Lucky for Life and didn't do that last night. I've got my eyes on the prize. You know, I'm not going to give up. So I want to thank you so much for taking the time to consume this information and watch this video. I will let you know what happens from there. Until that point, I'm Aaron. I am the Chief Executive Officer and founder of 28 Games, my little company, all about ambition and inspiration, achieving the impossible. My tagline is crazy, ambitious, cleverly historic. I want you to all stay safe, on the roads, always. Crazy world. Not getting any less crazy, I'm telling you. Just wait 50 years from now. Don't even want to think about it. But I'll be back. I'll see you soon. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. And the best yet to come. Alright, bye-bye.